This is a different generation for Microsoft's Xbox because they starting out with the most powerful console ever made. This thing's capable of ray tracing, 120 frames and more. But first, I want to talk about the controller real quick. The controller didn't need to change because people love the shape and design of the Xbox One controller. So why change perfection? They just improved on it a little and just put it out there. And keep the haptic triggers that people like this generation. Loading times. Now, loading times have been a thing of the past where we just did not like it. We had too many games where you press start and the game took way too long to boot up. We've had games where we've had too many long transition scenes, and this generation didn't really help. So while last generation we may have had long elevator rides in Mass Effect, but again this generation we still have long boot up times for games like Red Dead Redemption and big open world games. Well, that will be a thing of the past, and we will have things like variable rate shading will make open world games easier to develop for, and you could basically make bigger, more detailed open worlds with variable rate shading in place. That with the SSD, which a lot of people are talking about SSD these days, it's going to help out a lot. Load times, nobody likes them, and this console will help. And plus we have quick resume, so you can go back and forth between several games. That's an awesome feature. Microsoft has their first party studios and partnered studios making the best looking games on their next generation console. Hellblade 2 will be stunning, and it is stunning from what we saw, and everything we saw in the Hellblade 2 trailer was running in real time. They've also confirmed that the game will be upgraded to Unreal Engine 5, and we know lately a lot of people love that engine. But all in all, a lot of Microsoft game studios do use Unreal Engine, and this is something we're going to see for years to come. Microsoft's first party studios using that engine on many games, many different looking games. And the thing is, it's a good engine, it's a great engine, games look good, and character models in those games look good, and we have the power of the Xbox Series X to take these games where they need to go. And now, Halo Infinite's coming this year, and it's potentially Microsoft's biggest game of all time. They launching a new Halo with a new Xbox. You literally don't get any bigger than that in the console gaming space with a launch, and Microsoft always treats their console launches special, and Halo Infinite will be that game you want to pick up the console for. Flight Simulator 2020 was confirmed for Xbox Series X in a podcast with Phil Spencer, and he said he was yet to play it, but this game is beautiful and the tech behind it is incredible. Like, it's rendering the entire Earth at full scale, and there's just incredible amounts of detail. There's wildlife, there's traffic, there's real life wind and weather simulation. It's truly next gen tech, and we should see more of this next gen. Xbox Game Pass. Microsoft's been building this for a long time now, and it's pretty impressive for how many games is in there and the wide variety of games. But the thing about Game Pass is that when Xbox Series X launches, you won't have to go out there and buy a console and a bunch of games. Like, you will have a library of games ready to go if you have Xbox Game Pass. Microsoft knows this, that's why they keep promoting it, and they want you to subscribe to it. And frankly, as someone that prefers to buy physical games, I see the value in Game Pass, and they keep adding value every month, and that's very enticing to other people. And it's a good thing for a new generation where, especially in 2020, people don't need to be spending more money than they should. Another thing is Xbox xCloud. Now, Microsoft recently said that if you have Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, you get xCloud for free. I mean, you can stream a library of games to multiple different devices, and maybe that's not for me, but there's a lot of people out there who like to stream games when they're on the move, or on business, or whatever. And that's pretty cool. And the fact that you can just do it with your Xbox Game Pass subscription, it's kind of unrivaled at the minute. We have other streaming services trying to do the same, but nothing can quite emulate this. And that's simply a fact. Microsoft has had backwards compatibility in the works for years now. They've excelled at it, and they've continued to impress everyone about it. They first added backwards compatibility in 2015, and then they added enhanced features for the Xbox One X, and with Xbox Series X, these games are getting HDR. And beyond that, they will get improved frame rates and visual fidelity. And here's the thing, if games get updated by the BC team, they could possibly hit 60 frames or 120 frames per second. That's probably machine learning. But backwards compatibility on Xbox Series X will be unrivaled. Again, HDR on everything. And Phil Spencer recently said that every Xbox One game now that isn't a Kinect game will work at launch on Xbox Series X. And then you'll have all your backwards compatible games that are currently on Xbox One from the 360 and the original Xbox. That's a lot of games. That is literally thousands and thousands of games. And the library is going to be huge from day one. We've never had this on console before, where you can literally go back and look through generations of your games on a console. And that's pretty exciting. So we're going to take our games with us. And again, that's fresh. Nobody wants to hit refresh every time we start a new console generation. Nobody wants that. Nobody wants to be forced to buy the same game multiple times. Nobody wants to be forced to pay to stream games you already own. The fact is, people have a lot of games now, and people want to take them with us. So, Microsoft's backwards compatibility is unrivaled. They've proven what they can do, and they have said that they may work on more backwards compatible games. And I hope they do, because there's a lot of games that should come to current generation, like things like Max Payne 3 and Binary Domain, things like that. But I believe that the backwards compatibility team will do that. And another thing is that this generation we've had a lot of good games, and things like Red Dead Redemption, we're going to be taking that with us. And if Rockstar doesn't update that game next generation, if the BC team does it, that means we could have 4K 60 FPS Red Dead Redemption on Xbox Series X. That's what this machine is capable of, and that is exciting, because this tech is really impressive. And I, for one, can't wait to get my hands on this console. It's going to be exciting for all games, new and old. With this upcoming generation, Microsoft's Xbox Series X will be the most supported Xbox ever when it comes to development. More studios are making games for the next generation Xbox than any previous Xbox, and that's pretty impressive. Also, games will be optimized for Xbox Series X, even more so than One X this generation, which was already a lot. So the biggest open world games coming this year and beyond will be optimized for Xbox Series X. They'll run at higher frame rates, smoother frame rates, and just crisper open worlds. And things like Cyberpunk, Assassin's Creed Valhalla will look absolutely gorgeous on Xbox Series X, and these patches are going to astound everyone. Next up, ray tracing. Now, ray tracing is something Microsoft's talked about since E3 2019, but a lot of people didn't believe it. Well, ray tracing will be in Xbox Series X games. So, for instance, Watch Dogs Legion, huge open world game, will have real-time ray tracing. That's impressive. That's a ridiculously impressive feat for a home console. Also, games like Chorus will also have real-time ray tracing. Microsoft wasn't messing around when they designed this console. This console is capable of up to 120 frames per second, and that's impressive. Things like Dirt 5 will run at 120 frames. So we have ray tracing up to 120 frames. Xbox Game Studios. Microsoft has been building up these teams for years now, and it's about to pay off. You see, for years, the biggest criticism was Microsoft only made Halo, Forza and Gears. Well, Microsoft took the feedback, and we've seen this, and they bought studios, and they made a studio from scratch. They don't only have a lot of studios making games, they have a lot of studios making a wide variety of games. Multiple studios with multiple teams making multiple games. And Microsoft is wanting to move into the position where they can release one big game every 3 months every year. Can they do it? That's pretty ambitious. I think they can. Because again, so many studios making games. And it seems like Microsoft wants to lean into RPGs. They have the studios like In Exile, Playground Games, Obsidian, and maybe The Initiative making big RPGs, different types of RPGs. And that's the right direction, I think, for Microsoft to go in. The shooter box hasn't been the shooter box for a while now. RPGs should be Microsoft's strong suit. And the thing is, they have partnered studios. Don't Nod is making a game for them, an episodic adventure game. They have Asobo making Flight Simulator 2020. And the thing is, again, Microsoft has games in almost every genre in Xbox Game Studios and the partner studios. First party RPGs, or should I say first person RPGs, third person, isometric, tactical. You have puzzle games, horror games, action adventure games, shooters. The list goes on. Microsoft is wanting to be in a position where they can provide you any type of game you want. And one of those games that they don't have much of anyway is Japanese RPGs. And I think that's something we will hear from in the near future, because again, that's something missing from the platform. There aren't a lot of big Japanese RPGs on Xbox, and they need to lean into them as well. Because again, if you subscribe to Xbox Game Pass, there's not a lot of first-person JRPGs in there, but Microsoft wants to change that. And they have The Initiative, a new studio with teams from all over the world and developers from all over the world that have worked on some of the world's biggest games, from Red Dead Redemption to Tomb Raider. These developers have talent, and we're going to see these teams continue to grow over the next coming months. Microsoft has learned a lot over the past 7 years, and we've all seen that. They removed the Connect out of the box, they stopped charging people gold to watch Netflix and YouTube. Game prices in the UK didn't go up like every other publisher. They invested in first party studios and services like Xbox Game Pass. And the thing is, Microsoft continues to listen to feedback, and that's one of the most important things. And one of the things we've said for years as gamers is that we want games, and it's crystal clear that they invest in more into games than ever before, into studios. And if you think about it, next generation could be the best Xbox generation, and I say that as a gamer and an Xbox fan. And there are things that Microsoft can improve in the future, which I'll talk about in a future video, but all in all, Microsoft is doing a lot of good here, and it's an exciting time for Xbox fans. Now, if you enjoyed the video, please hit like, subscribe, hit that bell for notifications, share it on social media or wherever you may go. And yeah, I'll be posting more videos soon, and my social media links are in the description down below. I hope everyone has a great day. I'm out. Peace.